Waiting. Okay. So we're live with Melissa Tucci. This is Ed from SportStar Relocation. And, we're traveling the U.S., really going through different marketplaces and how the real estate world combines with the sports world and really giving the inside scoop of exactly what players go through when they're coming to those towns and what to expect. And that'd be great to connect with you, Melissa. Why don't you start with an introduction of yourself and your company?
Of course. So thanks for having me. And a real estate broker with Coldwell Banker. And I'm also the official agent for the San Diego Padres.
That's awesome. So you work the greater San Diego market. Tell us a little bit about Greater San Diego. If you've never been down there, I mean, a lot of people have, I'm sure, but let's just say it's the first time. What can they expect?
Sure. So San Diego is known to being one of the best weather controlled climates in the world. And you range from having so many different types of areas and neighborhoods, from coastal, being close to the beach, to people who want to be further inland and have more land and space. You could, if you're wanting to do any tourist type of things, you could go to the San Diego Zoo, you could go to Balboa Park, you could go to one of many different beautiful beaches that we have. But there's also things like Botanic Gardens. There's, the Wild Animal Park in further north San Diego, the Legoland. I mean, there's so many different areas of San Diego, and that's what I love about it. You could be in the mountains, you could be in the water, you could be in the snow, all at the same time of year. So it really has just a remarkable opportunity for, all different types of people, whether it's, just wanting to get away for a weekend, vacation, or having a home or second home here, or visiting. It's never a dull moment, and San Diego has so much to offer.
It sounds like a great place to live for sure. Have you been there most of your life?
I have been here for 25 years. So I'm originally from Chicago, and I moved out here simply for the weather. And I know, as cliche as that sounds, I have a ton of family still back in Chicago, and they have a wonderful place to visit. I have it's always so interesting because, the Midwest was such a very strong sports town growing up. And it's a little bit different when you go to an area that has so much more to offer on the outside instead of just being, locked up in your house during all the snowy months. So can't say I'm very happy I moved when I did.
That's awesome. So what are some of the teams down there that you're familiar with and can help out?
Sure. So, we have, unfortunately, the only real major league team we have is the San Diego Padres, which I have been the official agent for the Padres for going on 10 years, which I've been the only agent that they've ever endorsed. So it's a real honor to be able to help the front office, the ownership, and the players as well with all of their housing needs. But there's also a lot of other sports teams that are in San Diego as well. The San Diego State Aztecs basketball, you have women's soccer, the Wave, you have San Diego Soccer, which is an indoor soccer team, Strike Force, which is an indoor football team, the Goals, which is ice hockey, and then the Loyals, which is also soccer as well, and San Diego Seals, which is lacrosse. So we do have a lot of different sports in this city. However, the major league sport, our primary focus, is the Padres.
Well, it's pretty impressive you could rattle all those small sports teams off. That's pretty.
Oh, thank you.
It brings a question to mind. I think a lot of times we think that every athlete out there makes $1 million an hour and they can buy whatever they want, but there's really quite a range of earning, or even just the desire to not spend a ton. If someone came to San Diego in your marketplace, what are some of the sub-markets that are there that, differ in values? They're not all, affordable.
Sure. Yeah. Sure. And I have experienced that a lot with a lot of the new Padre players as well, where I've had, some people ask, on a rental side, could I get something for under 3,500 a month? And, you have a lot of people thinking, oh, these players could just, spend $50,000 a month, or, just millions of dollars. And that's not always the case. So that's, absolutely how you pointed that out. But a lot of areas, so especially for downtown, are we talking purchasing or renting or a mixture of both?
It's a great question, because I do know some players come in to rent, but if you're to purchase, right? So if you're going to come in there and buy a home, what is a range of values that you can expect?
Sure. So if you're going to buy a home downtown, you don't have any single family residences. Everything is either a high rise, a low rise, attached condominium, or townhome style. So they range, depending if you have a nice 2-bedroom with a view, just under $1 million, all the way up to $5 million. If you wanted a real entry level 1-bedroom, 1-bath, you could still get that for $500,000, in a nice area, not necessarily with a view, but still in a nice area. But a lot of players really love the Coronado area, La Jolla, Del Mar. Really, I think mostly San Diego really has a more, especially when you're coming from out of state, like you want to be closer to the water, and those areas get you there. So Coronado, average house in Coronado is 2 million plus, going all the way up to 25 million. There was actually one even on the market, 37 million. And then La Jolla, similar as well. Again, depending, you still have the little beach craftsman style homes that are 3-bedroom, 2-bath, 1,200 square feet, that are still, in the high, 100, right under 2 million. And then those go all the way up to over 40 million as well. And same thing with Del Mar. There's a lot of different options though in between. If you're not wanting to spend, 2 to 5 million, but you still want a nice property, San Diego is really known for some amazing school districts as well, which you don't necessarily have to have children, but of course for resale value, it's always great to be in a good school district. So you have areas that are just a little bit of east of coastal, like Carmel Valley, Carmel Mountain, Rancho Penasquitos, Scripps Ranch. There's some really nice areas right on the outskirts of downtown, like Mission Hills, Hillcrest, Normal Heights, North Park, University Heights, Claremont, Pacific Beach. Depending on how you want to work your way up the coast, there's really a price point for everyone. It's just a matter of, what you're looking for. And of course, if you want, a beautiful view, walking distance to the water, you're definitely going to have to pay more for it.
So a lot of variety. How about the players themselves? Any special needs that you've seen come across that you're able to help with?
So a lot of the players that I've helped, they want to be, especially with the Padres, is closer to the ballpark, just based on the, how much they are at the ballpark. They don't want to drive 45 minutes. There's a beautiful area here called Rancho Santa Fe. They have Fairbanks Ranch, these, 2-acre parcels, 5,500 square feet, just absolutely stunning and, beautiful, but that doesn't typically work for a lot of the players. Most of them prefer to have a water view and to be 25 minutes or less. And I really stress less, because a lot of them that I've helped really want to be like 15 minutes to the ballpark. So that's been, that's typically a top priority. And it's interesting too, because a lot of the new players, or if they get traded in the middle of the season, they prefer just to be walkable to the ballpark. So then they would just be in a high-rise downtown. And, some of them don't want to have to drive. They want to just, walk outside their front door and be able to walk a few blocks. So that's what I've really noticed. It's either, being really close to the ballpark or being far enough away, but not too far, in order to be able to, not have to have that drive weigh on them and be able to come home and, go to the ballpark easy enough.
Right. That makes a lot of sense. And are there other services that you provide for players if they have unique requests and things like that?
Absolutely. I'm a full concierge for any of the players as far as any of their traveling needs. If they need anything from a doctor to an interior decorator to helping them decide where to go on a vacation to helping their family pick out where their kids could go to do things during spring break. I just had that happen with one of my clients. So I really try to be full service. Of course, real estate is a top priority, but anything that they need, I am here to help in any way, whether, like I said, even like a handyman, if their dishwasher goes out, I want to be able to get them in contact and have me be the first number that they call to help arrange everything.
That's great. And you had mentioned earlier you're working with the front office staff and and people within the organization and the Padres. You're also helping with the coaches and assistants. Do those needs a little bit different if they're
a lot different? Absolutely. I think a player versus a coach or ownership or the legal staff of the organization has different needs because also they're typically not at the ballpark as many hours as the players, and they also have the ability and usually like to be able to travel a little bit further to get a little bit more what they want as well. So I think there's definitely, and then of course too, a lot of the players don't have families, sometimes don't have children, and a lot of the front office or staff, might have a little bit more different dynamic to their makeup of what they need, whether it's, a single lifestyle or more catering to families and other families nearby. So you really just have to be a chameleon to what people's focus are and what people's needs are. But I've always, I've been doing this now 22 years, and I pride myself on really being able to, read my clients' needs and help in whatever aspect that they need.
perfect? If someone want to get a hold of you, what's the best way to do that?
Yeah. So they could email me, call me, or go to my website is www.melissatucci.com. And then my email address is sold@melissatucci.com. And my name is spelled T as in Tom, UCCI. So I always let people know it's like Gucci, but with a T. And then that seems to make it easy for everyone to spell. And then I actually answer my cell phone personally and text all the time. I work very long hours, and, I'm very catered to my clients. So I'm always happy to have a text or a phone call. And my number is 619-787-6852.
It's always great to have someone you can count on like that. I know this can be trying with the hours, but a lot of our clients are expecting it, and it's great to hear you're able to provide that.
Yes.
Anything else you want to add before we close up today? Anything else we should know about San Diego or your business?
Sure. So I would say that, I've helped a lot of sports affiliates and players and clientele over the years, but I do help, I think what is unique about myself is I do a large number of transactions every year, but I don't have a team. I pride myself on a higher level of customer service and really committed to a higher level of professionalism and negotiation. And I work with buyers from, luxury clients to, clients where their children want to buy their first home. And I'm happy to help, guide people through the process, no matter, what area or what price point with my expertise. And it's always an honor to be able to do that.
Awesome. Melissa, thanks for jumping on today. It's great information. Thank you for sharing, and we'll see you around.
All right. Thanks for having me. Have a good day.
You got it. Thank you.
Thank you.